Hello everyone and welcome back to another video, and today I'll be reviewing the GRC variant of Cruz, Ramirez. So up first, here's her artwork, which is basically just an edited artwork of Cruz with her GRC decals. And over here it says GRC Global Racers Cup, and here's her badge with her number. Honestly, I never thought that I would get GRC Cruz. I kind of thought, okay, so I have all of the other GRC racers. It's okay if I don't get her, but the other day I was at Walmart and I found a case T with a bunch of grams, and I just randomly found GRC Cruz, so that was pretty nice. I also found the Rally Race Cruz and Danny 2-pack, so that was kind of ironic. So yeah, anyways, on the back it says GRC, once again, Global Racers Cup, and once again it features that stadium background, which I don't think I've ever mentioned. Yeah, basically just like a stadium in Radiator Springs, as you can see. Willie Speed. So yeah, I just thought I would mention that since this is the last GRC racer I'm going to be reviewing. The last one I still needed to complete my collection. And on the back it shows McQueen, Jackson, Raul Cerul, Carlo Veloso, and Francesco. So I'll be right back with Cruz all opened up. So here she is out of the package, and she looks pretty nice. She has really nice yellow, black, blue, and white paint job, I guess. Yeah. The black, blue, and white are just GRC colors, but yeah. Anyways, so yeah, up first, she has a really nice smiling expression, which is standard for all Cruzes. There hasn't been a single Cruz who had like a slightly different mouth expression. Obviously her eye expressions have changed, but not her mouth expressions. But anyways, she has a hood. She has a dark hood that goes from like a dark gray to a black with a bunch of hexagons. I think that's what the shape is called. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've reviewed a GRC racer. And she also has the GRC logo on her hood and on her roof, and yeah, I guess on her badge, GRC badge on the sides, she has the number 51 in black. And she also has some hexagons all over her, which is pretty nice. What's interesting is that unlike some of the other GRC racers, she doesn't have any she doesn't have a gradient on her paint job, so that's pretty interesting. And here are her contingency sponsors. I'm pretty sure I can actually read them this time. Ride, Revenue, Ravioli, and Petrola. So yeah. And on the sides it says GRC with in a like black carbon fiber stripe, and with a thin white stripe below it, and a blue bottom with hexagons. And she also has yellow rims. And over here she has her dinosaur design, and as well as the Dynaco logo. So that's pretty nice. I like the fact that she includes that. And her spoiler is also black. Kind of has like the same carbon fiber design with the GRC logo, as well as like blue sides, I guess, with the hexagons. And on the back it says Global Racers Cup, once again with that black stripe of carbon fiber, as well as the yellow 51, and one thin blue stripe, and one white thin stripe, and as well as blue bottom, which kind of continues from the sides. So yeah, and the other side is pretty much the same. Yeah, and here are her headlights and her tail lights. So yeah. So up first, I wanted to compare her to her Mini Racer variant. So yeah, up first, the first thing that I noticed is the fact that her Mini Racer doesn't have the black outline around her eyes that the 155 scale diecast has. And another difference is the fact that the blue on the Mini Racer version is a lot more faded than on the 155 scale version. And that's apparent in person, not just on camera. So yeah. Oh yeah, and also on the sides, all over her blue is basically more faded than on the diecast, which is interesting. I wonder why that is. I don't know if that's the case on last year's Cruz, because that's when this Cruz came out. But yeah, I mean, this one isn't like different, you know. At least it shouldn't be. So I wonder why they're different in terms of shades of color. But anyways, yeah. So they both have basically the same decals, except on the Mini Racer, they're a lot more squished. They both have yellow rims. And what's interesting and something that I like about the Mini Racer is the fact that it actually completes the dinosaur, whereas the diecast just cuts it off for some reason. Yeah, so there's just like an awkward blank space, like a little hexagon design. But yeah, the Mini Racer actually completes it. What's interesting is that her prototype actually does complete the dinosaur. So I wonder why the final version doesn't. But whatever. I still like her as a diecast. But yeah, it's just pretty interesting. Yeah. Yeah, so the backs are pretty much the same. Spoilers. The Mini Racer even has the blue sides of the spoiler with the hexagon design. So yeah. Yeah, and up next, I want to compare her to the regular Dynaco Cruz. And obviously there are bound to be differences because the GRC Cruz has GRC logos all over her. But yeah. So the GRC version doesn't have the dinosaur's legs, whereas the regular Cruz does, which is interesting. And obviously the Dynaco and 51 numbers on the sides aren't as apparent. The Dynaco has been moved to the back, and the 51 is in a badge. But on the roof, the roofs are pretty much the same in terms of like overall design. Like they both have the 51. So yeah. On the back, they both feature number 51, except on the GRC version, it's on the right, whereas on the regular version, it's on the left. And it's a lot bigger on the regular version. So yeah. And there's no Dynaco logo on the back. So yeah. Yeah, and obviously the rims are colored differently. And GRC Cruz doesn't have any, like, her contingency sponsors, I mean, are over here instead of on the bottom. So, yeah. So, yeah, anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.